What's going on, guys? Today EA announced the NHL 21 Team of the Year nominees. They actually put out like a quick 30-second video, so here we give that a watch. I remember that they gave away the cool equipment. So like I said, really short video. They're only like 30 seconds. So I just want to go back quickly. Right here they show us what the new Team of the Year card is going to look like. Obviously still going with the black and gold color combo. I think those cards are going to look really sharp. So I'm just going to go here to the website. You guys can see each EA Sports selects 6 players. You get a left wing, center, right wing, 2 defensemen, and a goalie. Last year it was actually Ovechkin, McDavid, Kucherov, Burns, Binnington, Carlson. So both defensemen are right-handed, which makes me think it'll be 2 defensemen regardless if they play their left or right side, whereas for the forwards, they went left wing, center, right wing, so they're probably going to do that again. Then it says that we believe make up the best line from hockey in the calendar year. So for this year, basically all that means is it'll be the regular season from January 1st till March 11th when they postponed it, and then the playoffs. That's all there is to work with. This Team of the Year, we only have like one half of regular season where normally there's 2. So the playoffs, I think, are going to make up a lot of this, if not more than the regular season. So looking at the forwards here, you got Crosby, Kane, Kucherov, Marner, Rantanen, Zibanejad, Hoffman, Stone, Draisaitl, Connor, Ben Peterson, Kubalik, Pastrnak, Panarin, Matthews, and Ovechkin. Now, you might be wondering, where's McDavid? I'm wondering that too. You might be wondering, where's McKinnon? McKinnon's actually a nominee, but for whatever reason, he's just not on the site right now. So I have another graphic I'll show you guys that has McKinnon. Another guy I thought for sure would be here, JT Miller had a really good year for the Canucks. Brad Marchand as well with the Boston Bruins. So definitely some pretty big snubs. Now going on the defense, you got Pietrangelo, Makar, Provorov, Carlson, Hughes, Yossi, Shattenkirk was a bit surprising for me. It seemed like they didn't want to have doubles of a lot of teams, which is why I thought there was no McDavid, even though Draisaitl was there, but they were fine having 2 Tampa Bay defensemen with Shattenkirk and Hedman. Speaking of Hedman, you got him along with Suter, Jones, and Theodore there for the last line of defense. Goalies, you got Vasilevsky, Price, Hellebuck, Hart, Merlikins, and Saros. Saros is definitely a surprise, I think, but the rest make sense for the most part. So I'm just going to go through here, guys, and give you my picks for the NHL 21 Team of the Year and try and explain why I think each pick makes sense. Starting off with the forwards, we'll go with the right winger first. It's going to be Kucherov again. If you guys look at his stats for the 2020 calendar year, which is from January 1st to March 11th for the 1920 regular season, he was 3rd in scoring there behind only Zibanejad and Draisaitl, so he did quite a bit. And then you look at the playoffs, he was the playoff scoring leader with 34 points. In my mind, he's a lock for the right wing position again this year. And after that, we have the center position, and it's actually the guy who I thought was snubbed, Nathan MacKinnon. When I actually thought he was snubbed, I was like, alright, if it's not MacKinnon, I'll probably go with Point. Then I saw Point wasn't available, so I was like, oh no, who am I going to choose for center? But MacKinnon is there, which is good, because yeah, if him and Point both weren't there, that would have just been so bad. So MacKinnon had 35 points in 24 games in the second half of the 2020 season, which is pretty solid. Then you look at the playoffs, he had 25 points in 15 games, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, he finished 3rd in playoff scoring for forwards, and Colorado didn't even make the conference final. If you look at his points per game, he was 3rd as well, only behind Nuge, who had 8 points in 4 games. I didn't realize he had 2 points a game there in Edmonton's playoff run. McDavid had 9 in 4, so you gotta feel bad for them. Losing first round to Blackhawks. McDavid and Nuge definitely pulled their weight. Similar to Kucherov, I feel like McKinnon has to be a shoo-in at that center position. Now, in regards to the left wing position, this is a tough one, as my initial pick was actually JT Miller. I'll show you guys quickly why. JT Miller, for the 2020 regular season, had 36 points in 29 games. Then if you look at points in the playoffs, JT Miller was 8th there with 18 points in 17 games. So combined, he actually had the most points of any left winger in 2020. So to see him left off this list and not even be a nominee is very surprising. Again, I assume it's because they nominated Peterson and they don't want 2 guys from the same team, which is also why McDavid's not here, Marchand's not here, because Pasternak's here. Where is he? Right there in the corner. But my theory for that sort of falls apart when you look at defense, and they have both Hedman and Shattenkirk, so I don't really know what's going on. Like I said, if he was here, Miller would be my pick for the Team of the Year left wing, but since he's not, it's going to be either Jamie Benn or Panarin. I'll show you guys why. Panarin had 40 points in 30 games in the regular season. In the playoffs, the Rangers were 0-3. I think he had like 2 points in those 3 games. Now, Jamie Benn's actually not even on the first page, but of course, you know, Dallas made the Stanley Cup final. He had a deep playoff run, so Basically, he's competing with like Panarin's 42 points. You can see he was 81st in scoring there in 2020 with 20 points. But in the playoffs for forwards, he was 6th there with 19, where like I said, Panarin had like 2 points. But still, even if you don't include Panarin's playoff points, he still outscored Ben in 2020 with 40 points regular season. Ben had 39 in the regular season and playoffs combined. So I think looking at it that way, Panarin makes sense to be the Team of the Year left winger, especially too. I think Panarin just kind of like the sexier pick. People are going to be more excited for Panarin than they are Jamie Benn. Now moving on here, the defense. This is another tough one. I think for sure the first defenseman that's going to be part of this Team of the Year is Victor Hedman. The fact that he won the Conn Smythe kind of makes him a shoe-in because, like, how are you going to leave the Conn Smythe winner out? Also, too, regular season, I'll give you guys a look at the defenseman. So he's 20th in scoring there from January to March with only 18 points, but he had the second most points of any defenseman in the playoffs with 22, so you add that together, 40 points. On top of that, he was a plus 13, and the big thing, like I said, he won the Conn Smythe trophy. In my mind, it's pretty tough to leave the playoff MVP off of the Team of the Year, especially when the playoffs literally made up like half of the calendar year. Now, in regards to the second defenseman, my pick honestly would have been Miro Heiskind, as he led all defensemen in playoff scoring with 26 points. He was a plus 8, only had 2 penalty minutes, so he played a clean game. In terms of the regular season, it was pretty average. You guys can see he was 45th there, 13 points in 28 games, but you add it together, 39 points, helped lead Dallas to the Stanley Cup final, which I think is a big deal, but for some reason, they actually chose John Klingberg over him, which I found surprising. Like, Klingberg also had a pretty good playoff. You can see 5 less points. Regular season, Heiskanen had 13. Klingberg had 16. So still, overall between the two, Heiskanen had more. And he had more points in the playoffs, which I think is a lot more impressive than having more points in the regular season. So again, I think Heiskanen's a very big snub. Don't really get a lot of these picks, but for my second defenseman, because Heiskanen's not available, it's actually going to be Shay Theodore. He had an awesome year in 2020. A lot of people might not realize. 5th there in defenseman scoring, 23 points in 28 games. Only had 2 penalty minutes, so again, very, very clean. Plus 8 as well if you guys care about plus minus. Now in terms of playoff scoring, 4th for defenseman, 19 and 20, so just under a point per game. 8 penalty minutes, so he actually had more penalty minutes there in the playoffs. But playoffs, of course, are more chippy games, so I think that's understandable. Again, Theodore, 4th in playoff scoring for 2020, 5th in scoring on the regular season, clean game, solid defenseman. I think Theodore definitely makes sense to be the number 2 defenseman in this Team of the Year. Now finally, guys, moving on to goaltender. For me, it came down to 2 guys, Andrei Vasilevskiy and Connor Hellebuyck. Vasilevskiy, of course, was in net for the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. Connor Hellebuyck won the Vezina Trophy. So basically, I have to decide between those 2 guys. So look at the regular season performance for 2020, which obviously doesn't include, the first half of the season. So in terms of goals against, Tuukka Rask 1.84 is ridiculous. You got Vasilevskiy there at number 9, putting up a 2.16, which is really good. You can see Connor Hellebuyck there's at 22 with a 2.54. Now save percentage, you can see Vasilevskiy put up a 0.93. Only starting goalies with a better save percentage. Merzlikane if you count him, and then Tuukka Rask. So pretty impressive. Saros you could also kind of count, and I see 0.934, the 2.22. That's why he made the 2020 Team of the Year. I was wondering, how he got there. Connor Hellebuyck has a 0.9222. Now wins obviously is a big deal too. Vasilevskiy first, Hellebuyck second. So looking at all those stats, I feel like you got to give it to Vasilevskiy because even if you don't include the fact that he won the Stanley Cup, so in the playoff, he had the most wins of any goalie with 18. He also had a .927 save percentage over 25 games is super impressive. Also having under 2 goals against in that playoff run at 1.9 I think is ridiculous. So for me, Andrei Vasilevskiy is honestly a lock in net for the 2020 Team of the Year. So right there, guys, I look at my NHL 21 Team of the Year lineup. You got Panarin at left wing, McKinnon in the center, Kucherov right wing, Hedman defense, Theodore defense, and then Vasilevskiy in net. We'll see kind of how accurate I am with my picks, but I feel like I just used the stats, didn't use any emotion at all, and those are the picks that made the most sense for me. Again, I would honestly have JT Miller and Heiskanen both in this Team of the Year if they were nominees, but they aren't, so unfortunately, they're not going to make it in. I'd love to hear from you guys who you think your Team of the Year lineup is going to be in the comment section below, and as always, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that. Have a nice day, guys. Goodbye.